there's obviously going to be a lot of transfer speculation going on now, obviously with players that Liverpool are going to be linked with, and we already have been, obviously. Riyad Mahrez from Leicester, Thomas Lemar, Gelson Martin seem to be the three most prominent names that are going to come in January. Now let's just squash all of that pretty much right now. And I'm not squashing it with like inside knowledge. I'm not one of those ITKs or in the nose, anything like that. The reason I'm saying squash it right now is I am fully of the belief that nobody is going to be coming in as a replacement for Coutinho. Okay? Like, I'm very much of the belief of, you know, Coutinho was a good player for us. He was a good player. But just the same with Torres, the same with Suarez, Sterling, and now Coutinho. I appreciate what they did, and now I'm going to forget about them forever. And that is just the way that I look at it. It's the best way to go about it, because then I'm not sat here feeling really sad or down about it or anything like that. I appreciate what they did. Gutted that they've gone. We move on. That's it. They're not part of Liverpool anymore. It's done. That's fine. No worries. It's not fine, but you know what I mean. Let's not dwell on it. Now, obviously, people are getting really excited about who we're going to be bringing in January to replace him. Riyad Mahrez and Thomas Lemar seem to be the most prominent ones. Gelson Martin has been named as well, but he's an out-and-out winger as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, we could possibly do with having another backup winger, seeing as Markovic isn't going to be getting a shout anytime soon. But it's not going to happen. I really don't believe it's going to happen. I think that reserved money that we have now, obviously we bought Van Dijk. It's going to be like 145 million transfer fee from Barcelona to Coutinho. You know what I mean? Like selling Coutinho to Barcelona, it's going to be about 145 million. So people are saying that we'd have about maybe 70 odd million to play with. I don't know if we've already paid for Naby Keita for next year, or whether do we have to keep that in reserve and then we're just going to use the summer transfer money. I don't know. I don't exactly know, and no one's exactly come out and said if that's the case or not. So I'm fully of the belief now that I don't think we're getting anybody else in. I think this is going to be our squad, our team. This is going to be it now for the rest of the season. It's going to be exactly the same as it was, plus Van Dijk, minus Coutinho. That is what it's going to be. And I think we just have to accept that. That is what we have to accept. If someone comes in January, then it's a nice surprise. The way I look at it is, I don't want to get myself hyped up. I nearly did last night when people were turning about Mahrez and stuff like that, having a medical and stuff today at Liverpool, and that was squashed within a couple of minutes and stuff like that on by Sky Sports and different outlets and such as well. The reason that I look at things very much, and you might think that I'm looking at it negatively by saying let's squash it, no one's coming in, is because if no one does come in, I am not surprised and I'm not necessarily disappointed. If someone does come in, then I'm surprised and I'm really happy. That's the difference. You know, we could allow ourselves to get really, really embroiled and really hyped up about people. Oh, wow, get Thomas Lemar from Monaco. Monaco don't want to sell in January. They've said that. They didn't want to sell him in the summer. I think they would have agreed to it, but I think we were too late in doing so. I don't think they want to sell him halfway through the season. If anything, they're going to sell him in the summer, possibly. Then you've got to look at, okay, can't have him. What about Mahrez? Mahrez still wants to leave Leicester, as far as people are saying. That he's putting in some good performances for Leicester, but he still has an eye on leaving. But why would their brand new manager, Claude Puel, want to lose him? You know, if anything, he's looking at maybe offloading someone like Ahmed Musa, who I don't even remember when he last got a game. You know, he's one of the most popular players on FIFA, but that's completely different because he's got boatloads of pace and people just love him on that. But in real life, not really getting a shout. I cannot even recall when last time Ahmed Musa even got a shout, and he's a striker. So, I mean, I think it was one of those things I saw that Puel he's passionate about keeping Mahrez and Slimani, doesn't really mind about letting someone like Musa go. So if they turn around and say, yeah, we're not going to sell him, then they're not going to sell him. So that's pretty much the be-all and end-all of it for that. You know, I mean, there's nobody else really that would come in. And again, this depends on what the remainder of that money from the Phil Coutinho sale is that meant to be going towards the Naby Keita deal? I don't know. It's just purely, I'm thinking out loud while I'm recording this video. I'm thinking out loud, and that's all I can maybe think of is why we wouldn't bring someone in. That money is there to be used as it's basically been what a lot of people have said. It's been balancing the books. Let's be real. It's been balancing the books. People saying that we don't have to balance the books. Yeah, it looks like we probably do by the looks of it, because Van Dijk's 75 million, and Naby Keita, I think it's a fee that's going to rise up to about 60, 66 million. So you take all of that, what, 75 plus 60, so you say, well, that's 135, maybe it's going to be 141. Wow, something like that. That's pretty close to what Coutinho's being sold for, isn't it? So that really does sound like it's balancing the books from Liverpool. So that's not necessarily a great move. It's not a great thing to hear either. But the other thing with this is we literally have to wait and see. I think we are on about the 7th of January right now. There's a long time in this transfer window left to go. I certainly hope it's not one of those that goes down to, say, the last couple of days. We've got important matches coming up. We've got Man City next week. So, I mean, that's going to be great, isn't it? When Klopp was saying... And this is another question I've got as well, because Klopp came out pretty quick after Barcelona announced that they've got Coutinho and said that they tried absolutely everything that they could. They literally, everybody, the team, the staff, himself, the owners, they tried everything they could to keep Coutinho, but it didn't work. So how long have they known that Coutinho was going to be going in January? How long have they known that this was going to be happening? And why, if we do have the funds there, why haven't they been preparing? Why haven't they been making sure that we've got an ample replacement in place for his sale to go through? Because if you don't bring someone in January, I said this in the video yesterday, if you don't bring someone in January, or if you don't bring someone in to replace Coutinho and you're waiting until the summer, as much as people say, and there's going to be feelings of anger and everything and upset about Coutinho leaving, and there's going to be derogatory comments towards him and stuff like that as well. Let's be real, he was one of our best players. He was one of our best players. I wouldn't say he's our best player out and out, but he was one of our best players. Definitely in our top 3 best players at our club. So you don't replace that. That will hit you eventually. Now the only way that you can maybe look at it is, you've got to look at it like we've just had a long-term injury. Okay? Like we've got a long-term injury to Coutinho or something like that. And we would have lost him anyway for a while. Now we had a long-term injury to him last season. I think when he got injured in the 2-2 against Sunderland. Then we lost Mane at the same time as well. If Salah comes back in, great news, great stuff. And Mane starts hitting a little bit of form, fantastic. I think at some point in this season though, got Champions League, FA Cup, Premier League, top 4 chase and everything like that, it may come back to bite us in the arse, and that's going to be horrific if it does. So all I'm saying to wrap this video up is that no one is coming in January. Let's accept that, and we've got to move on. Forget about Coutinho now. He is a Barcelona player as far as I'm concerned. Forget about him. Move on. Let's focus on the players that we've got and see whatever happens in this transfer window. I don't believe anything will happen, but hey, anything can happen. Just my belief anyway. Thanks very much for watching this impromptu video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Do like it and subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you again, and I'll catch you later.